Hi, and welcome to DomainCast. This is the first episode of the Game Domain Weekly podcast. Today I'm joined by Joe.
Hello.
And for this video, we'll be talking about current things happening in the gaming industry and also what's upcoming. So I don't know if this was this week, but did you see the Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer?
No, I actually didn't have enough time to get around to that, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, like you actually have the original one, right?
Yeah, I do have the original.
Like it's lack of content.
Yeah,
like
in the loading time.
Like you have, I know you have like the ultimate version or whatever it's called, but still, it's pretty light on content. And when someone for EA said that it would not be, or I'm not sure if they worked for EA, but they had something to do with the game, would not have a season pass, EA just said, no, it's going to have a season pass. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a $50 season pass. They just don't learn. That's why everyone hates EA, because they keep making stupid business decisions like that.
Yeah, it just really didn't have a lot of content. There's not a lot to it, but the DLC did make it a lot better. But it's not a game without the DLC. Like, it's not a full-fledged, game.
Yeah. And also, something interesting I found out is that games are actually cheaper than they've ever been when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, back in the Atari days, games were like $15 to $30, which was really expensive back then. And even, like, last generation games, like, by today's standards, were $80. So now the games
They were
are...
$80?
Yeah, no, like 10 years ago, games were still $60, but when you count for inflation, it was $80 in today's money back then. So games are really cheaper than they've ever been, but are they really? Because the DLC, most games have like $30, $40, maybe even $50 DLC, and all. Like, there's one game that had like $200 worth of DLC.
Yeah, I've seen one for over $1 million.
I know, like, it's not really as bad when you think about the inflation, that games are cheaper, and also games are much more expensive to make than they were back in like the 360, PS3, and Wii days. Like, games were a lot cheaper to make, because now think about how much more time you need to polish the games, even after the game is released, because of those updates. So it does take a long time. And also now, since every game pretty much has an online mode, they have to sustain that unless they're Ubisoft and don't believe in servers. No, but do you have any Ubisoft games? Like, you have Steep, right?
Yeah.
And is the online bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't really get it yet, but I'm kind of confused with it.
And also, are you getting Puyo Puyo Tetris? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I've been playing the demo, and I really like it so far. I'd say I'm pretty good, But, yeah, I'm probably gonna get it sooner or later.
I played the original Tetris on the Game Boy. Of course, not when it first came out. I think I played it a few years ago, probably longer than that, probably around like 10 years ago when I first played it. And I've never played like a Puyo Puyo game, and I gotta say it's not that bad. I actually like it. And the swap mode, they really should have called it the switch mode. It's pretty interesting. It is annoying though when you lose just because of that. But other than that, I would recommend it. I know it's $10 more on the Switch, but it's really not a game that you're going to sit down and play a lot, especially with its multiplayer focus, right?
Yeah, it's probably just gonna be a game like, hey, I got this new game, you want to check it out?
Like, imagine if 1-2 Switch was, like, I don't know, for example, on the Wii U. Like, you don't bring your Wii U to parties or anything. The Switch is something that you can bring. Like, I played 1-2 Switch at places other than home, because you can bring it anywhere. It's not a game I would play that much if it was locked to the TV.
Yeah, it just seems like one of those party games that you want to take around.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't fit, like, a home. Like, just standing there.
Like, something like Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's a game. That's
a
game that I would be okay if you can just play it on the TV. Obviously, it's better that you can bring it anywhere, but still, that's a game. That is really one of the definitions of a home console game that's going to take you a long time.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can bring it anywhere is great. Puyo Puyo Tetris is not like that. Like, why was it on the Game Boy? Why was the original Tetris on the Game Boy? So you can bring it anywhere. You can play the wired multiplayer that was in 1989, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
So did you see any trailers for games recently that you're going to consider getting?
MK8 Deluxe is one of the trailers that we had to look at, and I think it's really good. I like Shine Thief. That is, I think, is gonna be a good one because you're competing with your friends to get the Shine Sprite. But I also like Renegade Roundup, and that one looks really cool because like you have piranha plants that are like blue, and you're a cop. It's basically cops and robbers, but with cars. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun with friends, or if you take it to a party.
Yeah, you hear that, Rockstar Games?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be really interesting for GTA 5 or
that would be
GTA
weird.
Online.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it does look like a fun game. Obviously, it's going to be better than Mario Kart 8. But it's not really, it shouldn't be $60, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a $60 port, or as you like to call it, $60 DLC.
Exactly. Like did you see that video on Game Domain just a few days ago?
No, I did not. What did you say?
It's just, I didn't say anything in it. It's just a video showing some footage, the target marketing. Like, why wasn't that for the original Mario Kart 8?
Yeah.
Like, that was a new game.
Like,
The
they could have
Switch.
made a cheaper port.
If there was a new Mario Kart game for the Switch, yeah, I'd probably get it on launch. But a port, and there's not really a ton of differences. Like the frame stutter thing is fixed, new battle mode, 1080p, stuff like that. Nothing to really justify a launch day purchase for me. I'll wait until it's maybe like $40. What about you?
I think, since I'm such a big fan of Mario Kart, I think I might get it on launch this Friday because, I don't know, I have the money for it, and I really want that game.
I'm a big fan of Mario Kart too, but I'm saving up for some other games. Like, this is the time of year where a lot of games are starting to be published or finished at once, and then usually until the summer, that's when a lot of games are made also. So I'm trying to save up for some other games. When Mario Kart 8 Deluxe drops in price, that's when I'll get it. Like, there's some other games I want to get, like ARMS I'd rather get, because that is a new game. There's no ARMS on the Wii U. Splatoon 2, yeah, it's kind of like Splatoon, but it's still a new game. So what other games?
Another game trailer that I saw was Mr. Shifty. And I saw this game a while ago. I saw this YouTuber play, and I was like, whoa, that's such a cool game. And when I found out it was coming to the Switch, I was so happy.
Like, you have the game.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I got the game, and it's really good. It makes you feel so cool when you're teleporting through everything and punching people. It's awesome.
And it's kind of difficult. Like, you have to make sure you press the right button because it can be confusing. Because the controls aren't really that confusing by themselves, but you have to react fast, so you might press the wrong button. I've noticed that a couple times. And you only can take one hit. Like, it's not like you just take a few hits, regain health. You don't do that. After one hit, you have to restart the area. Yeah. So I would recommend it if you're looking for a good Switch game. And is it multiplayer?
No, it is not multiplayer.
So if you're looking for a good single-player experience for the Switch, you're done with Breath of the Wild, I would definitely recommend Mr. Shifty.
Yeah, Mr. Shifty is a really good game.
Because there really are not that many core single-player games. Like, there's World of Go, Fast RMX, Puyo Puyo Tetris. They're all games you can play multiplayer, and that's really a big part of the game. But that's really one of the few core single-player experiences that's new to the Switch. Not like the Neo Geo games, since those are older, like newer games. And also, do you watch The Last Man on Earth? I think it's on Fox. Do you watch that?
No, I haven't. Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah,
I watched an episode the other day, and it was one of the parts of the show was weird. They had a Wii U gamepad. Like, I don't know when this show started. I think it was like 2014. And they had a Wii U gamepad. I don't know if it takes place before the Wii U or whatever, but they had a Wii U gamepad in it, which is something I've barely seen in a TV show. Like, I've seen a lot of shows, have DSs, but usually not Nintendo consoles, like home consoles.
What'd they do with it?
I don't know, there was just, I don't want to spoil anything, but they did have a Wii U gamepad.
Oh. And just like, not long ago, we were actually playing some Wii games, and I'd say they've aged pretty badly.
The graphics were terrible. Like, I don't like to say that graphics are bad, but it is not aged good. Like, at least with Wii Sports and Mario Super Sluggers, the graphics, I mean, it was at least full screen. Mario Super Sluggers doesn't look tremendously bad. but it just looks really pixely. But Mario Party 8, it's still a great game. It actually is my favorite Mario Party game. It just does not look good. It's not. It wasn't even full screen. It's not even full screen. Like what was it? 4:3?
I think, I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's no way it was. There was no way it was full. It was meant to be full screen. Like you can see, if it was full screen, it would have been even more pixely.
I played another game. It was called, one of the best fighting games, in my opinion, I'd say.
Yeah. What was it? Like Cartoon Network. What? I don't even know what it's called. Like Cartoon Network Explosion Fighting Machine.
No, it's called Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion.
What?
XL.
That's how you know it's bad, when it has like a shovelware title like that. It really is shovelware.
Yeah.
Like it is a clone of Smash Bros. Not even a good clone. The controls are clunky. I don't.
It looks horrible.
I'm not gonna say it looks horrible. That's what makes it bad. But it doesn't look that good. That's not
Yeah.
what makes it bad though. It's basically Smash Bros with Cartoon Network characters. A ton of useless attacks. It's not a good game. If you have a Wii, and have that game and played it, you'll probably know what I mean. And isn't there a story mode? I forgot. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
I haven't played it for like 8 years before that. So
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
There's story mode.
I don't understand why there were so many shovelware games for the Wii. And it's not even like a motion controlled game. I don't know if it does have that, but it's definitely not focused on that. Most of the shovelware games on the Wii were just motion control gimmicks. Like there was some game called like Firewood, and
Yeah, like you just build a fireplace and then watch it.
that's literally all it is. Like that's shovelware. For those of you who don't know what shovelware is, it's basically a game that attempts to do nothing new, and it's just bad. It's just something to make money, usually for movie tie-in games. Like something like No Man's Sky, yeah, you can have your own opinion about it if it's bad or good, but it's not shovelware. Like they tried to do something. It is original, I guess. So that is not shovelware.
Yeah. When was the last time you've played Game Beast, Alex?
I don't know, probably a couple weeks ago. Didn't they add some new update?
Yeah, they had a new one recently. It was like you get a lot more clothes. You can customize your own character, which is cool. The levels were a little different, glitchy, but a little different.
It's definitely more patched than it was in 2015.
Yeah, a lot more. It's a lot better.
Yeah, because now it is looking more like a finished game. Remember, it's in early access, but what I like about Game Beast is, it is glitchy, but it was still very playable even at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like now the graphics look a little nicer. The stage design is more detailed. The online mode, while not great, like there's a lot of latency. And the connection isn't that good, but it's still definitely playable. And it's something Gang Beast needed. Like I'm not saying, while it would have made the game better, it needed it because you really can't play Gang Beast, single player. I mean, there's the wave mode, but really, who does that?
Yeah.
And in other news, do you know the game PlayerUnknown's Battleground?
No, what is that?
So it's a game like, do you know H1Z1 King of the Kill?
Yeah.
It's basically like that, but the person who made the mod for the game made his own game, so it's basically his original vision for it. And a lot of people are saying it's much better than H1Z1, and I'm looking into getting the game. But my PC is not a gaming PC. I mean, it can handle games, but I don't know if it can handle Unreal Engine 4. But it's definitely something I'll be keeping an eye on. I might get it on console when it's released. If I don't have a gaming PC by that point, which I don't know because it could be a while. Because it is successful. If it was released on console, it would probably sell very well.
Yeah. Wait, what was it called again?
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Like you have a gaming PC, so are you gonna get the game?
Yeah, probably. Pretty good, I'd say.
Now, this news is from a couple weeks ago, maybe even like last month. The Destiny 2 reveal trailer. I don't know. I mean, the trailer had a lot of humor in it, but I did not get the original Destiny. Of course, I know it was a huge letdown, especially being made by Bungie, the developers of the first 3 Halo games. And no one really says it's like, oh, it's this terrible game. Yeah, there's some people who say it, but a lot of people say it's a good game, even though they probably have like more than 1,000 hours in it. I actually know some people who have more than 1,000 hours in it. And there was a lot of issues, like, why was it not on PC? Like, Wii U, I mean, it really should have been on Wii U, because that is a game that a lot of Wii Uers might actually want to get. I know There's going to be some controversy for that. But that's just my opinion. And wasn't on PC really, an FPS or whatever it is, TPS, either one not being on PC.
Yeah.
Because have you ever tried using a Steam controller in something like CS:GO, then going to use a keyboard and mouse?
Yeah, it just feels a lot different.
You really can't go back to using a controller on that game once you use a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Like the aiming is like 12 times better.
Yeah.
12 times better.
On the keyboard.
That's too specific. But the point is, it is a lot better. If you are a console player and you think the controls are weird for FPS games, I would say give PC gaming a chance. Because there are a lot of console people who don't like aiming. Like Battlefield 1, my Xbox One came with it. The aiming is terrible on console.
Yeah,
right?
It's just like, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just like
it's pretty bad.
It's hard to get used to once you've played on PC for a while. So then you're just like, whoa.
I haven't even played Battlefield 1 on PC, but the controls, like Overwatch is something that's a perfect example of how aiming should be on console. It is pretty precise, or at least very precise for a controller. Battlefield 1 is not. I don't know. This might just be me, but I think the aiming just feels a little slippery.
Yeah, it does.
And it's not like you have a big target. Like it's a big game. Like it's like borderline open world.
Yeah.
And I guess you can consider it open world, even though it's not like a huge area.
Yeah, it's not that bad though.
The Nintendo Switch has been out for about like 2 months now, pretty close to it, like a little more than a month and a half. What is your take on all the hardware issues, and do you think it was fixed?
Yeah, I think it was fixed. A lot of people like with it didn't really like the fact that
yeah, there was a lot of issues. There was a lot of issues. Like I would say probably more than the Xbox One. Like the Xbox One issues were pretty much decided by Microsoft. Like the stupid not I don't want to say $500 price tag, but the stupid thing where you can't use like used games. You can't give it to a friend or something. And then PlayStation made the video. Did you see that? Like the official used game video was funny. So basically, he's like, "How to use a used game here," and he just gave someone a game, and he was like, "Thank you." That's the video, and all the comments are like, "How Sony won the generation." It's pretty funny.
You can't use used games on Xbox?
No, they changed that. They eventually realized that was bad, and they made a recent statement. Instead of saying, "Oh no, we messed up on the launch," they just said, "Oh, you know, we made some mistakes." Like they're not gonna say something like that because corporations.
Yeah.
And during the Nintendo Direct, we saw some interesting gameplay from non-Nintendo games like Payday 2.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool how they're having Payday 2 on the Switch.
And Payday 2 is not that expensive anymore, especially on Amazon. I was definitely thinking about getting it on PS4 or Xbox One, maybe even PC, because I'm pretty sure my PC can handle it.
And it is a multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, it's very multiplayer. I don't even think there is a single player mode. I could be wrong though. But once I saw the Nintendo Switch trailer, I knew that I'm going to get it on the Switch, because I do need some more games for the Switch, even though it is going to be released later this year, such as Skyrim. Like Skyrim is a game I do have. I made some progress in it, but I think I'm not going to play it again until I have the Switch version, because that is a game that I want to spend a lot of hours in the game, and I don't have the time to do that if I'm just playing it on my TV.
Yeah, same. I feel like it'll be a game I'd take a lot of places, like, you know.
And Skyrim was released. It's actually released like about 6.5 years ago. Like do you remember November 11th, 2011?
No.
I actually remember. I think I actually used the Xbox 360 that day. Also, there was that movie that came out. I forgot what it was. But I did not get Skyrim because I didn't have a 360. I did use a 360 on that day though. And I did get Skyrim on the PS4 because I've heard nothing but praise about the game, and I haven't played it that much, only like 3 hours, but so far I really like the game. So Prey is releasing soon. I think they have the demo tomorrow, right? This is being recorded on April 24th, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's made by Arcade Studios. It could be wrong though. And I did like Dishonored too. Prey looks like a very fun game, and I do plan on getting it, and I can't wait to play the demo.
Yeah.
So, if you had to choose between getting Dishonored 2 or Prey, which one do you think you would get, since you haven't played either yet?
Personally, I'd probably go with Dishonored 2. Just because I like stealth games, and I like how you could, like, teleport.
But Prey also has some stealth stuff. I think it actually is it considered a stealth game?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I kind of just think Dishonored 2 would be a better bet.
And some other games I plan on getting soon. I know you only have an Xbox One, right? And a Wii U.
Yeah.
I plan on getting MLB The Show 17 soon, since baseball is easily my favorite sport. And it does look a lot better than MLB The Show 16, which I was planning on getting, but I decided I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna play it for 3 months. I might as well get the new version. And I've heard a lot of good things about that game. Also, it got like a 95. It was on one of our list for like top 10 games of the first quarter, 2017.
Yeah.
If you did have a PS4, would you get it?
Probably. I probably would. Seems like a good game.
A lot of people buy the PS4 just for the sports games, because I think it's made by Sony San Diego. Could be wrong though. I don't know. I think it is.
All right. So we all know about how the launch date of launch games of the Switch wasn't too good. So E3, I think they should release a lot more, good games for the Switch.
A lot more information on new
a lot
games.
more information about new games upcoming to the Switch.
Because really, the only reason you would buy a Switch now is because Breath of the Wild. Like, Mario Odyssey is going to be a system seller, obviously, but you wouldn't really buy a Switch until then, though.
Yeah.
So Nintendo has to have a great E3. So anyway, I think that's it for this week. Anything else?
No, I think that we covered it all.
Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to check out next week's podcast /video. And if you like this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Bye.